know if it's just me, or if any of you other young people out there have had a hard time sharing your thoughts verbally. But I've found myself getting in trouble a lot in the past. Most recent past, but the past nonetheless, for speaking up for myself or in general. In Bahamian society, children are told that we are to be seen and not heard. In other words, stay in your lane. If you stand up for yourself or even talk back, you would be considered rude and no manners. I remember this incident in primary school with one of my favorite teachers, where the bell for school to get out had rang. We had already said the afternoon prayer, and we were just waiting for the bell to be dismissed. So when I heard the bell, I said, "Ma'am, that was the bell. Can we leave?" She said, "No, I did not hear the bell." But me, being the me that I am, I insisted, "Yes, ma'am, the bell rang already." A few of my other classmates joined in with me. They said, "Yes, ma'am, the bell rang already." So she said in a very nonchalant way, "If you heard the bell, you can leave." I grabbed my backpack and I left. Early the next morning, I was approached by a few of my classmates who said, "Rachelle, teacher says she's taking you to the principal's office." Very quickly, I had a flashback of my previous moments, and I saw absolutely nothing that I had done wrong in the last 24 hours which could cause me to go to the principal's office. But just as I was about to ask why, the teacher called me in the class. She said, "Rachelle, you left yesterday without my permission." I said, "No, ma'am, you said that if you heard the bell, we can leave." I heard the bell, so I left. Apparently, another one of my classmates left along with me, so we were both taken to the principal's office. When we got to the principal's office, the teacher was given her chance to tell her side of the story, and then I was given my chance to tell my side of the story. I was very passionate about what I say, because my mother was a teacher at that school, and I knew that if this had gotten to her, I would be a dead child. So, in my passion, I spoke very loudly and very quick. The principal asked, "Why are you screaming at me, young lady?" I didn't realize that in my passion, I was speaking very loud. So when I realized my mistake, I asked if I could start over. She gave me permission to start over. The principal and the teacher both agreed that it was a misunderstanding. But for a situation that started on a sour note, it ended on a high note because I decided to do the 4 things that I would wish to discuss with you today. Many times as a young person, when I have spoken up for myself, it has been misinterpreted as being rude or facetious. I am learning that it is not what you say, but how you say it that matters. As young people, our voices need to be heard, our thoughts and ideas valued. Today, I would wish to discuss with you how to speak up without being labeled as a troublemaker. On many occasions, your tone takes precedence over your words. Your words can be right, but your tone can be wrong. For example, "Wow, nice shirt," or "Wow, nice shirt." One gives the impression that the shirt is actually nice, while the other gives the idea that the shirt is not nice, although the words are exactly the same. I have seen well-meaning persons, including myself, gotten into trouble because we decide to argue a point that could have been readily and easily accepted if it was delivered in a way to diffuse a situation, to bring clarity by explaining, not arguing, and if it was said in a respectful way. Here are 4 ways to get your point across to anyone without coming off as rowdy, rude, arrogant, or as we Bahamians would say, being fresh. Number 1, push your idea. But your timing must be right in order for this to be effective. Have you ever observed 2 persons in a restaurant at the swinging door? Picture this. Both of them get to the door at the same time. They both decide to push the door. In this instance, no one can get through. But if one party decides to allow the other through, then he can also get through. Your main objective when expressing yourself should be for the other person to understand your point of view. And sometimes that may mean listening to their perspective than sharing your own. A person is more inclined to hear you out if you show that you are genuinely interested in understanding their point of view. You should not listen just in an attempt to gather ammunition to fire back, but you should listen to understand why a person thinks or feels in a particular way. Try acknowledging what you agree with. Give the person credit for sharing their views. Ma'am, I understand that you mean well by this, and I agree with that. I can see you put a lot of thought into this, but may I suggest this? You are not trying to manipulate the person, but you are genuinely trying to see where you two do not agree so that you can clear up any misunderstandings. Secondly, purpose is key. Know your reason for speaking. Before you speak, think about your purpose for speaking. Is it to cause friction, or is it to bring a sensible solution to a problem? You can win an argument and still not solve a problem. You can be the loudest, therefore heard, and still not listened to. I have heard people say, "Yeah, I hear you," as a way of ending a conversation. But did that person really listen? Many times you are heard because you are loud and forceful in your delivery, but your point is totally missed in the noise. As young people, we have ideas that we need to get out there. We have solutions to real problems that others need to hear. So we don't just need to be heard, we need to be listened to. Hearing is the act of sound entering the ears. It is automatic because we cannot close our ears. But listening takes deep thought, commitment, and even action. So we want to be heard, not just listened to. Third, be passionate about what you have to say. This does not mean being rude or obnoxious. This simply means knowing what you are talking about, taking time to research what you wish to share. If a person can see how passionate you are by the amount of time you took to become knowledgeable about it, then they will listen to you. They will want to hear from you, the expert, because they know that your views are knowledge-based and not just trumped up emotions. Yes, it is okay to be emotional about an issue, but let your passion go beyond that. With this, you must be very careful not to become overly passionate, whereas it can be perceived as being confrontational. And finally, presentation is of paramount importance. Know your audience. If it is adults, then you know there is a level of respect you must have when presenting your facts and information. Showing respect does not mean backing down when delivering your truth. It simply means being tactful, choosing your words wisely so as to not offend. You don't want to offend your audience because then you no longer have their attention. Their attention is now turned towards the offense. They now feel the need to defend and not listen to you. You want a captive audience. You want them to show you respect, so you must show them respect. And even with your peers, there's a level of respect you must have to get through to them. The delivery may be different, but the respect should still be there. Your peers may not mind certain slang words or terms or phrases. Actually, this may be what they respond to more readily, where in certain settings this can come off as brash, crude, or even uncouth. So when not sure of your audience, be able to stay far away from certain slang words or terms, questionable phrases, and innuendos. I am young, but I am intelligent. I have ideas and solutions to problems that I need to share. My voice needs to be heard, but I need a listening ear. I need a genuine response and even a commitment to action. As a young person, you may feel the same way too. So try using the 4 ways that I suggested to get your point across effectively. And remember, when you are at the proverbial swinging door, as minors, we sometimes have to yield to adults, even if you believe that you are right. But when given the opportunity, do not take it for granted to purposefully present your views to your audience with a passion fueled by information, not emotion. And saying what you have to say respectfully, tactfully, and without losing the essence of who you are. Be bold in your convictions as we go out there and change our world with our thoughts, views, and ideas, because what we have to say matters and needs to be heard. Thank you.